Alright, I'm going to show you how to change a blade on a Harbor Freight sawmill. First, note which way the teeth are facing. They're facing that way. So to the right if you're looking at the machine from the front. Notice that's important. And also the engine spins this way, so the blades are leaning towards the angle they turn. Remember that. It's important. I made that mistake before. Alright, now we're going to go back to the tensioner back here. You got two tensioners. You got this bolt and you got this. Now you're going to need to turn this about 5 turns counterclockwise. The big wrench. You're going to do about 5 turns on that as well. 5 times. Alright, now we're going to go to the front of the machine again, and watch as I spin this wheel, the tracking will get closer to the edge. There you go. It's going to pop. So careful if that happens. You'll just hear it. There you go, it's popped. Alright, now I really like to do this with 2 hands, but since I haven't been a cameraman, just gently find the blade. Get your hand on the back side of the blade so it can't cut you. So this is my new blade. And you notice it is wound up tightly. Now you could try to untangle it by hand. I do not recommend this. It'll cut you unless you wear gloves. The best and simplest way I found is simply to throw it up in the air. You want to find a nice grassy spot where there's nothing the teeth can chip on, and just kind of... See, teeth landed side up, no damage to the teeth, and it is uncoiled without you getting cut. So that's how I do them. Again, I usually do this with 2 hands, so I'll be real careful not to cut myself. Kind of holding the camera kind of funny. Just going to put it in the guard itself. There we go. And then we'll work it onto the blade. Now you got these little guide bearings down here with 2 pieces of metal that there's a gap in there. Check that gap occasionally, make sure it doesn't get twisted or worn on one side. I actually flipped one the other way the other time. But anyway, just kind of put the blade in there. Yep, do the same on this side. Okay, don't roll away from me. There we go. Now you can see it's half on there. It's on this side. What you're going to do is we're going to rotate it counterclockwise because it's off on the top part. And just rotate it slowly. And there we go. She's Okay, now we need to go adjust blade tracking. The most important part of the installation. If you remembered the turns you did earlier, you're a smart person. So, put the thing on it. Right, and we're going to probably have to do some fine tuning to that as well. Go ahead and go to your main T handle. 1, 5 is the hardest. There we go. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to hand spin the blade. We want tracking. We want to be like a fourth of an inch sticking out of the teeth. That'll keep it just off of these bearings. So spin it the way it'll go. This is how it's going to look when it's cutting. See how it's, yeah. Now look at tracking. We're off the bearings right now, but I'm going to rotate a couple more times. Okay, now we're on the bearings. So that means we need to tighten this back nut right here. I'm going to loosen their corner turn. Remember, a new blade will act differently than your old blade because your old blade was stretched out a little bit. Good. We're off the bearings. Blade's sticking out about 1/8 of an inch. So check tightness. I'm going to actually turn both of them a little bit, because you don't want there to be too much give in your blade. So good. I'd call that just about perfect. Alright, we'll close the machine up. That's how you do the blade change on a Harbor Freight sawmill. So I give you another tip. Put Dawn dishwashing soap in your reservoir, especially if you're doing pine. I give it a squirt every now and then. It cuts down on the tars and pitches that stick to your blade and keeps your blade a little bit cooler, and a cool blade will last longer. And also another way to tell when you need to change your blade is when the cuts start getting wavy. I'll show you an example right here. See this? Yeah, see, it avoided a knot and went up. that's a sign that I need a new blade.